Africa is changing fast and in ways many people around the world don't fully understand. Did you know that Africa's ranking for the largest economy recently shifted for the first time in almost a decade? Economic power in Africa is no longer where it used to be, and today we are counting down the top 10 largest economies in Africa from number 10 all the way to number 1. Before we begin, let's clear something up. What exactly is GDP? GDP, or Gross Domestic Product, is the total value of everything a country produces in a year. In this video, we use nominal GDP, which reflects the value of a country's economy in US dollars based on current exchange rates. Why does this matter? Because exchange rates, inflation, oil prices, and economic reforms can dramatically change a country's global ranking. A country can grow internally yet still fall on the global scale simply because its currency weakened. So, today, we break down which nations dominate Africa's economic landscape, what industries drive their economies, their biggest opportunities, and their biggest challenges. To understand where Africa's leading economies are today, we need to look at how far the continent has come. After independence, mostly in the 1960s, many African nations relied heavily on agriculture and raw exports. Traditional industries included cocoa, coffee, cotton, timber, minerals, and of course, oil and gas. But over the last 3 decades, something remarkable happened. Economies began to diversify. Countries like Rwanda, Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa began shifting towards services, finance, telecommunications, manufacturing, technology, and renewable energy. Regional trade blocs also played major roles. ECOWAS in West Africa, EAC in East Africa, and SADC in Southern Africa. And now, the African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA, the largest free trade agreement in the world by population, aims to connect 1.3 billion people into a single market. Africa is not the continent it was 30 or 20 years ago, and today, top 10 economies reflect this transformation. Let's begin. Starting off at number 10 is Ghana, with a nominal GDP of about $88.33 billion. Ghana stands out as one of West Africa's notable economies. Its economic strength is anchored in a rich mix of natural resources and emerging industries. Gold and other minerals continue to be key export drivers, while cocoa and other agricultural products maintain Ghana's reputation as a major agro-exporter. Oil and gas production, both onshore and offshore, further contribute to national income, complementing a growing services sector that spans finance, retail, transport, and commerce. Light manufacturing and agro-processing are gradually gaining ground, signaling a slow but steady diversification from reliance on raw commodities. Looking ahead, Ghana's economic trajectory is shaped by ambitious projects. Expansion in oil and gas infrastructure, including offshore drilling and refinery upgrades, aims to boost production. Industrial parks and agro-processing initiatives are helping to add value to exports, reducing dependence on raw materials. Meanwhile, investments in road, ports, and transport infrastructure are improving trade and commerce connectivity. Despite these opportunities, Ghana faces significant challenges. Heavy reliance on commodity exports leaves the economy vulnerable to global price fluctuations. Currency volatility and inflation create pressures on households and businesses alike. While public debt and fiscal constraints may limit government-led development efforts, sustained growth would require deeper investments in human capital, infrastructure, and industrial diversification. In summary, Ghana combines abundant natural wealth with emerging diversification potential. Its long-term economic prospects hinge on managing commodity risks effectively, strengthening industrial capacity, and building resilient economy institutions to support sustainable development. If you have enjoyed this video so far, please support the channel by liking and subscribing. It helps the channel grow and reach more people and helps grow African history content like this. Alright, let's get back. At number 9, we have Côte d'Ivoire. Côte d'Ivoire's economy, with an estimated nominal GDP of around $94.48 billion, stands as one of West Africa's most dynamic. Agriculture forms the backbone of its economy activity, with cocoa, coffee, cashew nuts, and other cash crops driving strong export earnings and sustaining crucial foreign exchange inflows. Complementing this are growing investments in agro-processing and infrastructure, which aim to boost both export capacity and domestic consumption. The nation is also leveraging its mineral resources, expanding construction projects, and enhancing services and trade sectors, from retail and transport to domestic commerce. Significant projects such as port modernization, infrastructure upgrades, and the development of industrial parks are shaping the country's future, enhancing trade and supporting broader economic diversification. However, Côte d'Ivoire faces notable challenges: infrastructure gaps, the need for improved social services like education and healthcare, and reliance on agricultural exports make the economy sensitive to commodity price swings and climate risks. Political stability and effective governance remain key for sustaining investor confidence and accelerating industrialization. In summary, Côte d'Ivoire continues to shine as a regional economic leader, while agriculture and agro-exports drive its present growth. The nation's ability to transition towards diversified industrialized growth depends on strategic investments in infrastructure, social development, and stable governance. Coming in at number 8, Angola is projected to have a nominal GDP of approximately $113.34 billion. Historically, the Angola economy has been heavily reliant on oil and gas, which continue to form the backbone of export revenue and government income. Alongside hydrocarbons, mining and diamond extraction, construction and infrastructure development, agriculture and agro-processing, and the services and trade sectors all contribute to the country's economic landscape. Recent growth trends show some optimism. The recovery in global commodity prices has provided a boost to Angola's oil-dependent economy, while government efforts to diversify into mining, agriculture, and infrastructure are gradually gaining traction. Public sector investments in urban and transport infrastructure also offer potential for job creation and broader economic stimulation. Several major projects are shaping the country's future. Angola is focusing on developing oil refining capacity and expanding its energy infrastructure to enhance value addition. Infrastructure projects, including roads, ports, and urban development initiatives, aim to improve connectivity and living conditions, while investments in mining and mineral extraction are designed to reduce the economy's reliance on oil exports. Despite its resource wealth, Angola faces significant challenges. Its heavy dependence on oil leaves the economy vulnerable to global price fluctuations, while high inequality and persistent social issues hinder inclusive growth. Governance reforms, institutional strengthening, and strategic diversification remain critical for long-term stability. Infrastructure gaps, corruption, and weak public service delivery continue to slow progress. In summary, Angola is a resource-rich nation with considerable economic potential. However, unlocking sustainable growth will require decisive reforms, diversified investment, and stronger institutional capacity beyond its traditional reliance on oil. Coming in at number 7 is Ethiopia. Ethiopia's economy is projected to reach approximately $117.46 billion in nominal GDP, positioning it as one of Africa's emerging economic players. The country's economic backbone remains agriculture, with coffee, crops, and livestock forming the foundation for both domestic sustenance and agro-exports revenue. Beyond farming, Ethiopia is steadily expanding its textiles and apparel manufacturing, catering to both local markets and international supply chains. Construction and infrastructure developments are thriving, driven by rapid urbanization, while ambitious hydropower and renewable energy projects aim to bolster energy supply and industrial capacity. the services and trade sector continues to grow, encompassing domestic commerce, retail transport, and trade services. Ethiopia's rapid urbanization and infrastructure projects are fueling the construction and services sectors. Textile and manufacturing exports are increasingly integrated into global supply chains, helping generate foreign exchange. Strategic investments in energy, particularly hydropower and renewables, are intended to strengthen industrial output and improve living standards over long term. The nation is focusing on hydropower plant development and broader energy infrastructure to supply industrial growth. Expansion of roads, railways, housing, and urban facilities is set to facilitate trade and urbanization. Industrial and textile parks are being developed to attract foreign investment and boost export capacities. Despite these advancements, Ethiopia faces significant hurdles. Political instability and regional conflicts pose risks to investment and economic stability. The economy's heavy reliance on agriculture makes it vulnerable to climate shocks like droughts and variable rainfall. Industrial diversification remains limited, and poverty, unemployment, and gaps in social services continue to affect large segments of the population. In summary, Ethiopia is navigating a complex path of rapid development and ambitious industrialization, while infrastructure, energy, and export-oriented initiatives hold substantial promise. Political uncertainties and structural vulnerabilities could temper the country's growth potential. At number 6, we have Kenya. Kenya's economy is estimated to reach approximately $131.67 billion in nominal GDP, positioning it as a key player in East Africa's economic landscape. Agriculture remains the backbone of the economy, with crops, horticulture, tea, coffee, and livestock driving both domestic consumption and exports. Complementing this is a vibrant services sector, particularly tourism and trade, which continues to attract both regional and international attention. The country is also emerging as a regional technology and innovation hub. Telecommunications and ICT, including mobile money and fintech solutions, are rapidly expanding, fostering financial inclusion and encouraging entrepreneurship. Light manufacturing, spanning consumer goods, agro-processing, and textiles, alongside robust transport and logistics networks, further strengthen Kenya's position as a regional trade and commerce center. Recent years have seen substantial infrastructure investments, such as major railway and transport projects connecting inland cities to coastal ports, which are improving logistics and trade capacity. Expansion of ICT infrastructure and support for tech startups signal a push towards a digital economy that can drive future growth. However, challenges remain. Public debt and fiscal pressures from large-scale infrastructure projects are significant concerns. Issues around corruption, governance, and regulatory uncertainty could affect investment. While climate vulnerabilities, particularly droughts and flooding, pose risks to agriculture and livelihoods, ensuring that growth benefits all regions and communities remain an ongoing task. In summary, Kenya is leveraging its strategic position as East Africa's commercial and technological hub. With a strong agricultural base, growing digital economy, and major infrastructure projects, the country is poised for continued growth. But careful management of governance, debt, and climate risks will be crucial to sustaining progress. Coming in at number 5 is Morocco. Morocco's economy is projected to reach a nominal GDP of approximately $165.84 billion in 2025, reflecting steady growth and strategic diversification. The country balances traditional sectors with emerging industries to drive development. Agriculture and agribusiness remain central, with crops, fisheries, and food processing contributing to both domestic supply and export earnings. Meanwhile, Morocco's automotive and manufacturing sectors are rapidly expanding, positioning the nation as a growing hub for export-oriented production of vehicles and components. Tourism and services continue to be significant contributors, with hospitality, trade, and related industries generating substantial foreign exchange.
Morocco's mineral resources, particularly phosphates and fertilizers, further strengthen export revenue. On the industrial front, investments in renewable energy and green technology are increasingly shaping the economic landscape, attracting foreign investment and supporting sustainable growth. Growth trends show a clear shift towards export-oriented manufacturing and industrial diversification. Infrastructure projects and renewable energy initiatives are key growth drivers, while tourism continues to boost service export revenues. Major projects shaping the future include expanded ports and logistics networks, industrial zones to support automotive and export manufacturing, renewable energy plants, and upgraded tourism infrastructure to attract international visitors. Challenges persist, including high youth unemployment outside urban centers, water scarcity, and climate change pressures on agriculture. Regional disparities and rural-urban development gaps remain important issues, alongside the ongoing need to sustain reforms and strategic investment to stay competitive globally. In summary, Morocco is steadily modernizing its economy by leveraging manufacturing, exports, tourism, and green energy, making it one of Africa's leading examples of successful economic diversification. At number 4, we have Nigeria. Nigeria's economy is estimated at approximately $188.27 billion in nominal GDP, reflecting its status as one of Africa's largest and most dynamic economies. The country's economic backbone remains its oil and gas sector, a key source of exports and government revenue. Beyond hydrocarbons, Nigeria has seen rapid growth in telecommunications and ICT, fueled by increasing digitalization and widespread mobile internet access. The banking and financial services sector continues to expand, with large banks driving financial inclusion and modern financial services across the country. Meanwhile, Nigeria's entertainment and creative industries, encompassing film, music, media, and digital content, have gained continental and even global recognition. Agriculture remains vital, supporting livelihoods, food security, and export crops. Nigeria's sheer population size provides a massive domestic market and labor pool, providing sustained economic opportunities. Rapid adoption of mobile and internet technologies, coupled with fintech innovations, is improving financial inclusion and creating new business prospects. The services sector is expanding, gradually reducing the country's heavy reliance on oil revenues. Several major projects are shaping Nigeria's future, including investments in energy infrastructure and potential expansion of domestic refineries, transport upgrades like roads and railways to boost commerce, and continued growth of telecommunications and digital services. However, Nigeria faces significant challenges. Currency instability and exchange rate volatility increase import costs and affect investor confidence, while high inflation and rising living costs put pressure on households and businesses. Unemployment and underemployment remain persistent, and the economy's overdependence on oil revenues underscores the urgent need for diversification. In summary, Nigeria offers immense promise with its large population, growing ICT and services sectors, and abundant natural resources. Yet, structural and macroeconomic hurdles continue to complicate its path towards full economic stability and potential. At number 3, we have Algeria, with an approximately GDP of $268.89 billion. Algeria's economy continues to be anchored by its vast oil and natural gas reserves, which dominate exports and government revenues.
The energy and petrochemical sectors remain the backbone of the economy, with ongoing refining, gas processing, and export activities. Beyond hydrocarbons, the country has been investing in construction and infrastructure, including public works, urban buildings, transport networks, and road development. Agriculture and mining contribute modestly, while light and heavy manufacturing, mostly linked to supporting the energy sector, is present but limited. Hydrocarbon exports drive most of Algeria's revenue, yet the government is gradually pursuing reforms aimed at economic diversification. Infrastructure development and domestic industry expansion are key priorities, while Algeria's access to Mediterranean presents opportunities for increased regional trade and export market integration. Several major projects are shaping the country's economic trajectory. These include expanding gas extraction and processing facilities, extending export pipelines, building highways and transport networks to connect cities and ports, and developing downstream petrochemical and energy industry facilities. However, challenges remain. Heavy reliance on oil and gas leaves the economy vulnerable to global commodity price fluctuations. Youth unemployment, particularly among the educated population, remains high. Economic diversification, privatization reforms, and fostering private sector development are urgent needs, alongside managing potential currency and exchange rate pressures. In summary, Algeria retains considerable wealth due to its energy resources, but its long-term growth would depend on successful diversification beyond hydrocarbons and creating meaningful employment opportunities for its young population. And at number 2, we have Egypt. Egypt's economy in 2025 is estimated at approximately $347.34 billion, making it one of Africa's largest and most dynamic. The country's economic strength rests on a mix of tourism, petroleum, manufacturing, and agriculture, alongside its strategic role in global trade through the Suez Canal. Tourism and hospitality continues to be major sources of foreign exchange, while petroleum and natural gas remain central to government revenues and exports. Manufacturing and light industry, including textiles, consumer goods, and construction materials, are growing as Egypt pursues economic diversification. Meanwhile, the Suez Canal and related maritime services maintain Egypt's position as a vital global logistics hub, and agriculture supports both domestic food needs and exports. Recent growth trends reflect Egypt's strategic geographic advantages and ongoing diversification. Investment in infrastructure energy, including renewable projects and industrial zones, are modernizing the economy and expanding manufacturing and service sectors beyond oil and tourism. Key projects include port expansions, enhanced transport corridors, industrial zones, and tourism infrastructure upgrades designed to leverage Egypt's rich cultural and historical heritage. Despite this strength, Egypt faces challenges. Inflation and cost of living pressures are affecting households, while external debt and foreign exchange constraints pose risk for imports. Water scarcity and environmental stress threaten agriculture and urban development, and continued structural reforms are needed to sustain growth and address socio-economic inequality. Overall, Egypt remains a regional anchor of economic resilience and growth in Africa, benefiting from strong strategic advantages, though careful management is essential to navigate its economic pressures and structural challenges. And finally, at number 1, we have South Africa. South Africa stands as Africa's economic powerhouse with a nominal GDP of approximately $410.34 billion in 2025. Its economy is highly diversified, spanning mining, manufacturing, financial services, agriculture, and tourism, which together provide a broad and resilient base. The country's main industries include mining and minerals, producing gold, platinum, diamonds, and other key resources, alongside a strong manufacturing sector focused on automotive, machinery, chemicals, and consumer goods. South Africa also hosts well-established financial hubs in Johannesburg and Cape Town, while agriculture and agro-processing contributes a diverse range of crops, livestock, wine, and fruit. Tourism, hospitality, real estate, transport, and retail round out the services sector, making the economy multifaceted and globally connected. Growth trends show that despite fluctuations in global commodity markets, South Africa benefits from its advanced infrastructure, a robust formal sector, and a significant services industry. Large-scale projects shaping the future include renewable energy initiatives in solar and wind to reduce reliance on coal, upgrades to transport and port infrastructure to enhance trade and logistics, and development of industrial hubs focused on export-oriented manufacturing. However, the country faces major challenges.
Power instability, including load shedding, disrupt manufacturing and business operations. High unemployment and inequality constrain domestic demand, while structural issues such as bureaucracy and regulatory bottlenecks further limit economic potential. In summary, South Africa remains Africa's leading economy, diversified, relatively stable, and industrially and financially advanced, but internal challenges like energy shortages, unemployment, and inequality continue to temper its growth prospects. Looking across the continent, we notice clear patterns. North Africa dominates the top tier. Countries like Egypt, Algeria, Morocco have strong infrastructure and strategic trade positions. West Africa shows rising momentum for countries like Nigeria, Côte d'Ivoire, and Ghana. East Africa is the growth engine. Countries like Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania are some of the fastest growing economies. Dependence on oil hurts long-term stability. For countries like Nigeria, Angola, Algeria still rely heavily on hydrocarbons. AfCFTA could change everything. A single African market would increase manufacturing, boost cross-border trade, create jobs, and reduce reliance on foreign imports. Africa is moving towards becoming an intercontinental economic powerhouse. So what will Africa's top 10 look like in 2030 or 2040? Likely future risers: Ghana growing rapidly with oil, gold, and services. Rwanda, tech-driven and stable governance. Uganda with oil production coming online soon, and DR Congo with massive mineral wealth. Big drivers of future growth: AI and digital banking, renewable energy, infrastructure expansion, rapid urbanization, and continental free trade integration. Africa's future economic story is still being written, and it's accelerating. So there you have it, the top 10 largest economies in Africa, ranked from number 10 all the way to number 1. From Ghana's quiet rise, to Kenya's innovation boom, to Nigeria's enormous potential, to South Africa's reclaiming the number 1 spot. Africa's economic landscape is dynamic, powerful, and evolving. Which African economy do you think will rise next? Will any country break into the top 10? Will Kenya or Ethiopia challenge the big players? If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share with someone who might find it useful. It helps the channel grow and allow others to benefit from this information.